So I'm going to show you how you can take what you know and package it up into a course that continues to pay you over and over and over again. I've been doing this for quite a while. One of my first courses was a site called Free Magic School, where I taught people how to do sleight of hand magic. That graduated to my T-shirt Richards course, which literally started on accident, so it wasn't even planned, but that just turned out to turn into a multi-million-dollar product, a course that I wrote about 10 years ago, and it's still making me a boatload of money even today. I've helped other folks put together courses, package up what they know, and some have gone on to build $3 and $4 or $5 million companies with the course. So this is very profitable. The key for you to do is to get started. You just have to start. Don't question it. Don't try and rationalize it. Don't try and figure it out. Don't try to reason it. And that's what I did actually with T-shirt Riches. Some of the other folks that I've helped create courses kept saying, you need to start a course teaching other folks how to make money in T-shirts, because that's where we made a bunch of money. And I just didn't believe anybody wanted to know that. I didn't think the knowledge I had was valuable. I questioned myself. I just felt that everybody knew that stuff. And the reality is they didn't. What you do very well, or what you know very well, others know nothing. So don't ever take for granted, because I almost took that for granted. And that would have cost me several $1,000,000, and it would have cost me the opportunity and the freedom that I've experienced over the last several years, primarily because of courses. So courses are everything. I don't mean to ramble, but I just want you to understand that what you know is valuable. So step one, I'm gonna go back and forth between the outline that I wrote and the whiteboard. Passions, hobbies, talents, skill sets, knowledge, whatever you have, what you enjoy, all of that stuff can be turned into a course. If you feel you lack a particular talent or knowledge, or don't feel that somebody would pay you for what you have, with this model, you can tap somebody else. So if somebody else has the knowledge and the skill set, you can partner with that person to help create a course. So for example, a guy used to come by my house, and he used to mow our lawns and all of that. And so we talked about putting together a landscaping course, teaching other people how to start their own landscaping business. So I knew this side of the business. He knew the landscaping side of the business. So we partnered up in an effort to attempt to put a course together, and that's a whole nother story. So again, what does somebody else know that can also be packaged? So, maybe, in my case, I know how to package up courses. I know how to do courses. Somebody else knows how to do landscaping. Somebody else knows how to garden. Somebody else knows how to flip houses. Somebody else knows maybe a tennis coach, and maybe they know how to get clients. This thing can go very far and wide. Maybe you know how to use a cast iron skillet. Maybe you know how to make nutritious smoothies. Maybe you know how to train ferrets and hamsters. I don't know if that's possible, but maybe you know how to train them. For example, I know how to go to auctions and buy stuff. So that's a skill set. What do you know, or are you passionate about? Or what would you like to learn, or what would you like to know, so that way you can study, and as you study, you start teaching what you know. So that's the thing to start at. What is it that you want to put together? What do you have that's of value? And once you can identify what that thing is that you want to package up, then really that's it. It's time to start building out your course. So that's the step one, identifying that talent or that thing you want to do. So once you know what it is you want to do, and this is just a simple formula that I use to put together all of my stuff. So once you know, so I'm going to use the example of, and notice, I want to emphasize this. I'm looking at my notes as I'm talking to the camera. I remember I put this together in an hour and 15 minutes. So I didn't have a chance to memorize it, not even necessarily memorize it, but I didn't had the time to, let it all soak in. So I'm going back and forth to my notes, and I'm pointing that out because it's okay. Nobody's going to question you on that. You can say, I'm going over my notes to make sure I don't miss anything. I want to make sure I deliver everything to you. So, and people understand. And it's nothing wrong. You don't have to be perfect. You can always come back and tweak and modify and edit some of this stuff and make it better. But the key thing you need to understand is to get started. So I'm going to be stopping and going like that a few times. So bear with me. So again, the one thing you need to do is identify the thing that you're going to package up. And once you do that, I want you to identify one thing that you can do, that you can teach to establish your expertise. Once you know what you want to teach, once you know what you want to package up, identify one thing out of that knowledge that you have. Identify one thing that you can teach so that you can use that to establish your expertise. So for example, I know how to create courses. I know how to make money from courses. I know how to make a living from courses. So I'm taking one thing. This is a pretty big thing in this example, but I'm taking one thing, which is I'm going to show you how to package up a course in the weekend. And that's the one thing that I'm teaching you now. And we call this a lead magnet, LEAD magnet, lead magnet, also known as a bribe. So in other words, I took this one thing and I'm using it as a bribe. So like on the outside of my site, when y'all first saw that video, I said, hey, I'm going to show you how to do this one thing. In this case, how to package up your stuff over the course of 2 days. I'm going to teach you how to do this one thing. And in order for you to get this one thing, you really need to come to my website, put in your first name and your email address, and so that I can send it to you. And so the goal of this bribe or this lead magnet is to build an email list of people that are interested in what you have. And we'll talk about that a little later on. So identify one thing you can teach to establish your expertise. Another example is I like to go to antique auctions. And at antique auctions, I buy stuff and then I resell it. I buy it cheap and then I'll go back and mark it up and sell it for a bunch of money. So on one of my courses, I have another bribe. One thing that I'm teaching is basically how to find local auctions that are happening in your area. So that's one thing out of the big thing of auctioning that I'm going to be teaching is how can you find an auction that's happening in your own backyard? So the purpose of this is to establish your authority. This is how you quickly become the expert to the person that's watching. So like right now, you're watching me, I'm teaching you, and the more I talk, the more I teach, the more you learn, the more you take notes, you start to say to yourself, this guy's pretty sharp. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He knows exactly what he's doing. And that's what I want you to be able to do. So whatever that one thing is, package it, teach it. And the best way to teach is with video. Or you can write a 2-page report, Microsoft Word document, write it on out. And again, we're using this as a bribe. Give them something that is of value. So perhaps, for example, my T-shirt riches course. In that course, we teach people how to start their own T-shirt business. One of the things that we found was that most folks did not know how to draw. And they thought that graphic designers were the most expensive things in the world. So I put together a report or a short video, probably 15 minutes long, that basically said, hey, if you have some T-shirt ideas in your head, I'm going to show you how to take that out of your head, draft it out, and get it created by some top graphic designers for like pennies on the dollar. Get your first T-shirt design idea created in the next 24 hours. So that's a bribe. So, if you're gardening, maybe you have special seeds that grow faster than others. Maybe I'm just trying to look to see if I wrote any examples. I did not, and I probably should have. But identify one thing that you can teach out of your topic. And I'm just trying to think. Like, for example, my landscaping guy. Landscaping is a big topic. So he put together a thing. Here's some of the things you need to buy, equipment wise, how to get equipment, how to buy equipment for cheap, pennies on the dollar. That's the word I like to use, because normally people buying landscaping equipment, it's going to cost a fortune and cost a ton of money. But his idea was, hey, I'm going to show y'all how to get this stuff cheap. And of course, his method of cheap was to go buy this stuff used or secondhand from somebody else, thus cutting the prices down low. So that was his way to get them in. So whatever that one thing is, write up a quick report, no longer than 1 to 2 pages. You're not trying to write a book. You're just whetting their appetite and giving them some secret information or some inside information that they seem to believe to be valuable, and that's it. So write up a quick report, no more than 1 to 2 pages, or make a video explaining it or showing it. And as I mentioned, this here is called a lead magnet, and we'll give this away so that we can build an email list. And typically at the end, after they consume this report or this video or this knowledge or this expertise that you're giving them, you would generally make a pitch for the product or the course that you're now selling. Maybe it's a coaching program, consultation. You would generally make a pitch. So that's how this part works. So 1, identify your passion and your hobby, and then number 2, identify one thing you can teach so that you can establish your authority. And as they consume your content, the more valuable and more authentic you appear to be. So number 3, outline. So after you made that report, now we're going to go back to the thing that you're going to teach. And in this case here, what you're going to do is simply outline what you're going to teach in your training program. Don't make it so big. Don't make it so broad. Try to be specific as you possibly can. So for example, maybe you are a gardener, and gardening is a very big topic. So we're not trying to teach everything about gardening. So perhaps in your case, you like to grow vegetables. So you could have something like, your course might be something like how to start a vegetable garden in your backyard. And so now you can get very specific in your outline. You're able to kind of break it down. What type of seeds to buy, what type of soil, how to measure the space in the backyard, how to care for the ground. I don't know what goes in the garden, but I'm just saying, you as the gardening expert or the person who grew stuff and had a vegetable garden, you're able to just kind of map out your process, your strategy. Don't try and map out anybody else's. Map out yours, because you're the expert. My neighbor raised chickens in her backyard. How to raise chickens in your backyard. Again, she can break down a simple outline. Took me, I did all this in 1 hour and 15 minutes. So if you do this every day, it should be a breeze for you just to map out an outline. Doesn't have to be detailed. These are really talking points so that you can get people the information that they need to go out there. How to find the chicks, what do you feed them? I don't know what they got going on with them chickens. How to be an antiques dealer. I'm not teaching folks how to because how to be an antique dealer can be a pretty big course, but my goal really in my program was to teach folks how to make money at auctions and help them identify the specialty or the special niche they want to specialize in, something that ideally they're knowledgeable about, whether it's guns, antique toys, antique paintings, antique chairs, antique furniture. Let them identify the area they want to go into, and then they buy that type of stuff at auctions. And I'm just kind of teaching them the basics of where the auctions are at, how to buy, how to mark up their stuff, how to sell their stuff once they get it, and so on and so on. So my goal is not to teach them everything about antiques. Same thing with the landscaping guy, how to start a landscaping business, how to get the equipment, how to get clients, how to basic contracts, how to charge, just the basic stuff. That's what people want. They just want to get started. Now, if they get started and they want more advanced information, then he can package up a more advanced course. How to get clients for your photography business. So again, this is specific. Maybe you already have a photography business and you're doing well, but guess what? Other photographers, they're not trying to learn how to shoot pictures because they already know how to do that, but they want to learn how to get more customers, more clients. And so if you have that skill set, that's a course you can package up, teaching other photographers your strategy for getting more customers. Or if you're a doctor, your strategy for getting more patients. If you're a landscaper, your strategy for getting more clients, and so on. How to start a home daycare. Maybe you watch 5, 6 kids during the week. So again, you're not. This is not a broad course on how to start a daycare. This is how to start a daycare at home, and that caters to a certain type of audience, a person who wants to do this from home. That's all they're interested in. So that's it. So now that you got what you're going to talk about, just take the time to outline it. I did this in less than an hour and 15 minutes. And when I wrote this out, this probably took me about 30 minutes. Because once you write it out, then you know what to talk about. You know how to package it. So that's that. So next step number 4. Now, here's my favorite part, is to determine how you plan to package your course. Now, there's a variety of ways. I'm sorry, my blood pressure medicine getting my mouth dry. And again, I don't have to edit this out. This is okay. It's okay. It's okay. So determine how you want to package up your course. So in this case, I'm doing video. Now, this course will most likely be all 99%, 95% video. The beauty with video, if you want to get it translated, you can. And print it and have it printed out, or and not printed out, but you can have it printed out. But written up in Word, put into a PDF format so that somebody else on the site can download it if they wanted to read it. But in this case here, this course is going to be in video. Might have some combination of text throughout, and there will be text throughout the course, links and resources and words and whatnot. Another format you can put your course in, it could simply be an ebook. T-Shirt Riches has done millions of dollars, but it started out as a simple ebook. I wrote the ebook in a few hours on a Saturday. Started on a Friday night, spent maybe an hour or so, and then woke up Saturday, spent another hour or two, and it was done. And that ebook turned that thing into a multi-million-dollar product, million-dollar course, million-dollar company. And not million one time, multiple millions of dollars that all started with that ebook 10 years ago. So don't underestimate the power of the word. I still buy books. I buy books all day long, every day. I read every day. So don't ever underestimate the power of a book. So perhaps you want to put your course in a video. Perhaps you want to put it together as an ebook, and you can sell the ebook directly from the site as well. Some people like to talk. They like to do audio. So my friend Jackie, he is a real estate investor, flip houses, and his first course that we created, helped him create together, consisted of about 10 audio recordings, and I believe all we did was use our phone. And he sat at his desk, outlined each of the modules, and then he just went through each of the outlines and just started talking. And I can't remember what we were selling that for. I want to say we sold it for a few $100s, and then the people who went through all of those modules generally ended up calling him and signing up for coaching, in which he was charging like $1,500 or $999 or $1,500, all from audio, because the audio established his authority, his expertise, and they were able to do stuff just with the audio. Some folks like audio, so his was audio. Perhaps you want to package up your expertise into the format of a coaching program. Perhaps twice a month you get on the phone, or once a week for 6 weeks you get on the phone with your prospect or your clients, and then y'all just roll with it. You coach them, you guide them. Perhaps that's your product. Perhaps it's consultation. Perhaps your product, your end product, is going to be workshops that you host on the weekends or a few days throughout the week. So identify or determine how you plan to package up your course or package up your content or your knowledge. Video is very popular. It's very quick. I like video. Writing for me generally takes a lot longer, but with videos I can just go. Normally I might break this up, and I still may break this up. I may make it just one long video, but traditionally, ideally, I guess this probably should have been 8 videos, because I have 8 talking points. but I didn't think it through because I was rushing. But these could be 8 individual modules, and the videos just tend to give a higher perceived value. So that's that. So determine the method in which you want to package, and once you do that, then you just follow your outline, and you just get to work. You just either write it out, and the same thing with the video. You got your talking points. You outlined it. So I theoretically, you know your topic, so it shouldn't be much of an effort to go through it. I'm referring back to my notes, but much of the talking is just me. I reference it, but I know my topic so well. I don't need to read it. So you just trust yourself. Just trust that you know what you know. Fair enough. So step number 5. Time to price your stuff. Now, oftentimes we generally sell ourselves short. We want to make it cheap because we don't think folk gonna buy it, or we don't value what we know. Real estate professional that I work with all the time. Matter of fact, she put together an ebook, and within 24 hours of launching it, she sold some. Although it was $17, I'm suggesting that she sell it for at least $99, but she didn't have the comfort, didn't feel that it had that type of value. I believe it has the value, and I believe she can get the 99. So I'm saying all that to say is there really is no strategy. Well, there is. I don't have a strategy for pricing. I charge what I think I can get. One of the things you can do is shop around on the internet and see what other people are charging, and probably triple your price, because most folks on the internet are probably selling their stuff for pretty cheap. My T-shirt Riches course sells for $379. It's the most expensive course on starting a T-shirt business. My competition sell their stuff for like $17 and $20 and $30, and I get it all the time from folks. Well, why are you selling yours for $379? I can go get the same stuff for $29. Go ahead and get it, but mine is $379 because I've created the value. I know that I'm an authority on that topic. I have content all over the internet about starting a T-shirt business. I got videos and tutorials. I put a lot of time to put the course together. And I know if you follow the course, you're going to make a lot of money. So $379 for what you can get is food. Man, you can make a ton of money off of after that $379 investment. So kind of shop around, see what you can get. Don't underestimate yourself. If you're putting together a video course, I mean, honestly, $99 is cheap. Don't sell it for less than $99. I would almost encourage you not to sell it for less than $195. I would encourage you probably you do it for $500. It's valuable, but compare what other folks are doing, and just to kind of get a general idea. Number 6, building the website. So here's the part where people get all confused. Back in the day when I started 20 years ago, it cost 10, 15 grand to get a website, $20,000 to get a website. So I took my butt to the library and bought books and taught myself how to build websites because I didn't have 20,000. But nowadays you can get website builders for like $20 a month. You know what I mean? The difference 20 years make. You know what I'm saying? So it used to be expensive, but I primarily build all of my websites around a blogging platform called WordPress. Now, don't let the fancy language get to you. The key thing that you can do is once you buy your .com name and get some hosting, and basically what hosting is, it's like storage space. So when you move, you put stuff in the storage to hold your stuff, and they generally give you a number with a key. And your storage number might be 136, so that way you know how to get there. Find your unit and then put your key in and open up. And that's what hosting is. So hosting combined with your .com name is your address on the web that brings people to your storage space to see all the stuff that make up your website. So that's hosting. Hosting is the storage space that makes up your website. And the domain name is the .com name that gets people to your storage unit. And so you put all your content on the site. But don't worry. If you don't want to fool with the technical stuff on the website, guess what? There are freelancers and resources out there that'll put all that stuff together for you. And we're talking, there's sites like Fiverr.com. There's sites like freelancer.com. I mean, for 25, 35, 50 bucks. Somebody can take your content, because ideally you should have already created all the content by the time you get to the website part, and they'll put all that stuff on the site for you. They'll put they'll install your plugins. They'll install, and when I say plugins, the little different pieces of software that you need to protect the content on your website, so you can't access it, so that they have to pay to get a username and password. They'll set up your what else? Your payment things and whatnot, like Stripe. I recommend Stripe. It's your payment processor. You'll link it up to your bank account, and so when somebody buy your stuff, it deposits the money. It charges them, deposits the money to your bank account. So you need a shopping cart and all that stuff. And I'm gonna write a little brief list on this stuff here. Don't over. I'm just giving you the basics of what you need, and I'm saying this because somebody else can put all this stuff to connect the pieces together for you if you don't want to do it. Because this is where a lot of folks get hung up at. They get stressed out and then they quit. But once it's set up and you can kind of get a working understanding on how this stuff works, then you can go back and make tweaks and adjustments yourself. So yeah. And I'm going to put some links down and resources of the stuff that I use, like the software that protects the content, and the shopping carts and all of that stuff, where it connects with your payment processor like Stripe or PayPal. Some people just want to use PayPal. You need a traditional payment processor like Stripe, so you can reach more people. A lot of folks just don't use PayPal and they hate it. So that's it. So build a website. Like I say, hire folks to put it together. You can hire somebody on my team. We'll set it up for you if you need to. And I'll tell you straight up, our sites, we don't make them super, super fancy. We make them functional so that they can work and sell, convert and sell. We simple folk over here. You know what I mean? I know it works. Been doing it for 20 years, so we keep it simple. So that's step number 6. Now going to step number 7. And I hope you're taking notes, because this is the process I do whenever I put together a website. So once your website is up, a lot of folks talk about, oh, you got a blog, but every day you need to be posting on social media all day. You need to be making videos 24/7. No, I don't do all that. I take my time. I do make videos, but I take my time. Here's the most important part. So once the website is set up, step number 7, basically, I have it titled as capture emails. Fancy word for focus on lead generation. Remember that one thing that I said you should teach to establish your expertise? That one thing to use as a bribe? Well, that's the thing that's going to go on the front of your website. You see, you don't even have to have a fancy website, because all you're doing is putting this bribe on the front of your website to bribe folks to download it. And in order for them to get it, they have to put in their first name and email address. So now your home page, your website, is going to be capturing people's contact details, their name and email address, or depending on what you're offering, you may be able to get their name, email address, and phone number. And that's going to go on the front of the website, and you're now in the business of building leads, capturing email address. That's the business you're in. This whole business model works around your ability to get very qualified traffic to that site. In other words, people that are most likely to buy, people that are interested in what you have, get as many of them as possible to your website so they can put in their name and email address to get that information. Just like you've done. Right now, you're watching this video because at some point I bribed you or convinced you that I can show you something that you deem to be valuable, and you put your name and email address in here to get it. And here I am teaching, establishing my authority. Now, once you capture, this is the secret, once you capture their email, you can't just send them this one thing. The system is going to automatically, it's called an autoresponder. Once they put the name in it, the system is going to automatically email them this report or this video tutorial that you promised them on the front end. It's going to email it to them automatically. It's going to say, hey, Jamie, here's the free information that I promised you when you first signed up. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions, please give me a reply back to me. But here's the link. Click it to go to it. It's going to automatically send it out. So that's why at 3 o'clock in the morning while you're sleeping, your website is working for you behind the scenes. And so once you send out that first email, you're going to write another series. You're going to write a series of emails. Since you're just getting started, I recommend writing up to about 8 emails. And it's not difficult. Because here's the reason why you write these emails. Because statistics show most of the folks ain't going to buy from you the first time. And they're just getting to know you. And you'll still need to send out additional emails to continue to prove your expertise, establish your authority, and to convince and show them that you know what you're talking about. So each of those 8 emails that you go out, the 8 to 10 emails that go out, will be some additional information that continues to reinforce the thing that you taught about. So for example, in this video, again, I'm showing you all how to put together a course in a day. Now, tomorrow, and I hadn't thought this through, I'm going to write another email that you're going to receive. In this example, I mean, like today is a Saturday. Today is a slow day for me. I made up until about 5 o'clock, I think. I made like $450, $500 just in courses that folks bought. I'm going to send y'all a screenshot of that, breaking that down so I can show you and prove to you and try to log into my Stripe account and show you and prove to you that people really are buying these courses. And these courses were written, some of them were written 10 years ago. And yet, 10 years later, they're still making me money. So I'm showing proof. And while breaking it down, so that might be email number 2. The third email might be an email of me showing you, I don't know, something out of here. I don't know. This is what I'm saying. So each of those emails, like, so for example, my antique course, after they found an auction, the report was, I'm going to show you how to find local auctions happening in your backyard. Email number 2 may be, hey, if you go to one of these auctions, here's some of the stuff that you need to take with you. Make sure you're going to need your driver's license. So make sure you take that. I'm going to suggest that you just go and watch. Do not buy anything your first day because it can be confusing. You may not understand what the person's saying. They talk very fast, and there's generally some terms that you agree to when you walk through that door and sign that piece of paper. So don't do anything. Just go observe because you can mess up by going there. So again, I'm sharing with them some stuff. A third video clip, I go to auctions all the time. So I'm constantly recording these auctions with my phone. And so I may, in the third video, send them a clip of a real auction that's actually happening. And they can get it. It's like a 7-minute clip. And so they're literally sitting there watching this auction and they're seeing this stuff go for cheap. So it's one thing for me to tell them that it goes for cheap. It's another thing for them to actually sit there and see the auction happening and hearing this table being sold for $30. You know what I mean? So in each of those 8 emails, you're going to send additional emails. And at the end of each of those emails, because you're going to educate them first on the email. And then at the end, you're going to be pitching your course. You're going to be pitching your product. You're going to be pitching your coaching program. So, hey, if so after they watch that video about that 7-minute clip, at the end of that clip, I could be talking about, hey, I hope you enjoyed that. This is what auctions are like. We have a detailed course that takes you step by step how you can become a professional antiques dealer and how you can get started with less than $100 to go shopping and buying and then flip that $100 into $1,000 return inside of 60 days or something to that effect. So we're always selling. Each email is selling. This is how this works. I know it seems like there's a lot of stuff, but this is how it works. It's simple. It really is. It's not complicated, because once it's set up, now that these 8 emails are set up, guess what happens? A person comes in, they get the first free report, and then day number 2, the email system automatically sends them email number 2. Then the next day, automatically sends them email number 3. Then the next day, it automatically, and I'm not doing nothing. I'm out enjoying time with my family. Folks are signing up to get the free report. Then they're going through the content, and then the next thing I know, they hitting the order button. And then I'm receiving notifications on my phone saying somebody done bought my stuff. That's how it works. So that's step number 7. So you are in the lead generation business, because if you're not capturing them leads, ain't nobody buying nothing. That's how they work. So which leads to step number 8. Yeah, I got my numbers all jacked up. So step number 8 is driving traffic. This is how you get the leads, because that's the other big thing. Well, how do I get traffic to my website? Because if you don't have traffic, you're not getting leads. So if you already have a following of people online, perhaps some of y'all have subscribers on YouTube, perhaps you have Instagram followers, start there. Now, that's the first place to start, your Facebook and all of that stuff. But of course, you'll run out of that. That won't do much for you. But tap the resources that you already got. When you look at my YouTube channels, you'll notice on I'm not just making videos just to be making them. YouTube is considered the second largest search engine in the world. So when a person doesn't find what they're looking for on Google, they automatically go to YouTube generally and start searching there. And so if you have content there on YouTube, people will start bumping into your content. And a lot of folks like to play games and horse around on YouTube. No, I'm using YouTube as a platform to teach, because people are actively looking. So I'll generally share something like my machine that I have, where I show people how to make shirts with this heat press. I explain to them what it is, where they can find one. And then at the end of my video, because I'm in the lead generation business, at the end of my video, I say, hey, if you'd like to learn more about how you can start a business with a machine like this, or if you'd like to get access to additional resources to sell your t-shirts, go to my website at tshirtriches.com and sign up for my free report and free training, where I'll show you blah, 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 blah. On back of every video, that's what I'm saying in all of my videos, and I'm driving them back to my site. The bulk of my business comes from leads from YouTube. So saying all that to say, depending on your topic, set up a YouTube channel. And this will take time, of course. So set up a YouTube channel if you like doing videos, and just start talking about your stuff. So when I'm out in the mall or out at the store and I see a unique shirt, I pull my phone out and I start talking about it. If I see something that pops off, I start talking about it. If I find something that I think, and that's what you need to do. If you're in the gardening and you go outside one morning and something done sprouted up, you pull your phone out and start. If you raise chickens and then you go outside and a chicken is about to hatch, you pull your phone out and you catch that moment and you share it, and so on and so on and so on and so on. We are in the lead generation business, traffic generation business, and the content generation business, when we're using the content to drive traffic. So that's one of the ways I do that with a YouTube channel. And I don't have a YouTube channel for everything. The other main way and the most controllable way is you just simply going to have to spend some money on some advertising, marketing and advertising. So Google has a program, and I know I'm overwhelming you with stuff. I'm just trying to give you a broad overview. Google has a program called Google Ads. And if you ever been on Google and did a search, put in some keywords like brown leather cowboy boots, and hit the search button, you generally see some ads, like 3 ads at the top, and then you'll see some ads to the right, and you'll see some ads underneath the natural search engine listings. And so that's Google Ads. So you get to pick the keywords that, you do some research, and you get to pick the words that you believe people type into the search engines to find that thing. So, like if you sell sexy lingerie, you can say, okay, Google, I want to bid on this term, sexy lingerie. And when somebody types in sexy lingerie, I want my ad to pop up, my listing to pop up at the top of the search engine. And you get to write the description and the headline. And if they click it, Google will send them straight to your website. Something like that, say for instance, for sexy lingerie, hypothetically, I'm just throwing some estimated numbers. Google might charge you 30 cents for that click. Now, a lot of folks are like, well, I don't want to pay for no click. Well, think about it. If a person is typing in sexy lingerie for Valentine's Day, chances are they are actively looking for sexy lingerie to buy. And so that 30-cent click drive that person to your site. And if you have sexy lingerie for Valentine's Day, it's a good chance that person might buy if they have what you have. So let's say 100 people click at 30 cents. That means you drove 100 people to your website at 30 cents a click, which is $30. That's cheap. That means you got 30 targeted, highly qualified people to your site, and it's a good chance 3 to 5 of them gonna buy. And let's say they spend $50 each. So $50 times 5 people, that's $250. It costs you $30 to get them. And not only that, you got 5 new customers who, if you do your marketing right, are very likely to come back and buy from you again and again and again. So that's how Google Ads works. So no matter what you're selling, so in my case, if somebody types in how to start a t-shirt business, I can have ads popping up at the top of Google search engine, and people click on it, it brings them to my site. How to start a landscaping business, how to raise chickens in your backyard. If you go to Google and do a search, chances are somebody's paying on those terms. So that's, and the beauty with and Google has a massive amount of traffic coming through their search engines. So you got people, so the people are searching every day. There's no lack of folks. You just got to be in front of them when they come. So that's how that works. Now, so you can run ads on Google. You can do the same thing with Bing. You can also run ads on YouTube, and ads on YouTube right now, it's so cheap. I'm talking about pennies. This is the best time to be running advertisements on YouTube's platform right now. So if you have some ideas, you could test it. So if somebody already has a channel that's dedicated to showing you how to raise chickens in your backyard, you could be running ads on their channel. So anytime somebody watch a video, your ads pop up, bringing them to your website. And they're getting that free report and building up your list, because your money is going to be inside that email list, hands down. So YouTube ads, another thing you can do is partner with other folks that have similar websites. A lot of sites allow you to advertise. There's forums that allow you to advertise. There are blogs that allow you to advertise. And, so I like paid traffic because it's the fastest way. It's the fastest way to get targeted traffic to your website immediately. You don't have to wait. It pays you back. If I spend $100 and make $500, if I spend $100 and make, if all I made was $300 profit off a $100 investment, it's worth it. So that's how you get into the business of making courses. So I'm sorry if all this was discombobulated, but I ran it all together inside of an hour and 15 minutes. I put it together. Normally I would take a little longer. When I say a little longer, a few hours, and not rushing through it. But I wanted to show you that this is possible. This was put together in an hour and 15 minutes, and I don't know how long this recording is, but this is it. This will be considered the lead magnet. This is my bribe to get you into my funnel so that I can sell you the main course, which it's really hard for me to talk about it because I don't have one. But what I am going to do, because I already have this outline becomes the course. So in other words, I gave you all a broad overview of what to do in each of the steps. And in the training course that I charge for, I go more in depth and actually show you a lot of this stuff and how to put it all together and how to do it and how to set it up, so that you can kind of follow along. So if you're interested in that course, you'll see a button pop up below this video. Click on that and get all the details and more information, to make a decision on whether or not you want to be a part of my training program. And I love for you to be a part of it because I want to help you get there. Once you create this one time, you sell it over and over and over again. Notice how I said click the button to get more information. I'm saying that because right now, as of this recording, on this particular day, I don't have it yet. So I'm gonna go home tonight. I'm gonna go home tonight. I'm gonna map it all out, and then it'll be on the website tomorrow, and that will be the course. So for those of y'all that are watching this video from the future, later, it's already done. But as of this moment today is not, as of the recording, on January 25th, 2020. So that's it. Bet on yourself. You're worth it. You got it. You're okay. You got this. Trust me, you got this, okay? So I'm Cartes Ross. No fancy editing. I'm going to put the videos up online as is. And let's go make this money.